Nauunawaan niyo po ba itong waiver ng bank secrecy na law na ito at ang magiging epekto nito?
Opo, Madam Chair.
Ibig sabihin po nito ay mabubuksan yung bank records nyo na inyong binanggit sa inyong supplemental affidavit without us violating the bank secrecy law. You are losing the protection of bank secrecy law. Naunawaan nyo po ba yun?
Opo, Madam Chair, I'm fully aware.
Ito po bang isinagawa ninyong ito ay may paggabay na ibinigay sa inyo ang abogado nyong katabi nyo ngayon, whom I know is Attorney Palad.
Opo, Madam Chair.
So, naiintindihan nyo po ang inyong ginagawang ito?
Opo, Madam Chair.
Okay.
Hindi lamang lumalalim, kundi tumitindi pa ang mga ebidensya laban kay Vice President Sara Duterte habang papalapit ng papalapit ang pagdetermina ng House Committee on Justice ng probable cause sa impeachment complaint laban sa kanya. Sa pagpapatuloy ng impeachment proceedings laban kay VP Sara Duterte, inaasahang magiging mas matindi at mas mabigat ang mailalahad na ebidensya laban kay Vice President Sara Duterte sa Kamara. Ayon kay House Committee on Public Accounts Chair at Bicol Saro Party List Representative Terry Ridon, hindi na lamang mga testigo ang aabangan sa susunod na pagdinig, kundi mismong mga dokumento na umano'y maglalantad ng mahahalagang detalye. Dagdag pa ni Ridon, ang mga susunod na hearing ay tututok sa mas konkretong ebidensya na inaasahang magpapalinaw sa mga isyong kinakaharap ng Vice Presidente. Kabilang sa mga inimbitahan ng House Committee on Justice ay sina dating Senator Antonio Trillanes upang talakayin ang isyu ng umano'y unexplained wealth ng pamilya Duterte at si Ombudsman Jesus Crispin Rimulya kaugnay sa Statement of Assets, Liabilities and Net Worth or SALN ni VP Sara Duterte. Samantala, naniniwala si House Deputy Speaker Paulo Ortega na maaaring maging star witness si Ramil Madriaga sa investigasyon laban kay Vice President Sara Duterte. Ayon kay Ortega, magiging matibay ang testimonya ni Madriaga kung papayag siyang buksan ang kanyang mga bank accounts para mapatunayan ang masinasabing transaksyon. Sa pagdinig noong April 14, sinabi kasi ni Madriaga na nagsilbi siya bilang dummy account holder sa paggalaw ng malaking halaga ng pera. Hindi niya umano personal na binuksan ang mga account na ito o humarap sa bangko. Ang mga account na iyon ay ginagamit umano para sa paglilipat ng pera ng nauugnay sa intelligence operations at laundering. Ayon naman kay Representative Joel Chua, ang testimonya at affidavit ni Ramil Madriaga ang nagsilbing missing link sa investigasyon tungkol sa paggamit ng confidential funds ni Vice President Sara Duterte. Ang mga pahayag-anya ni Madriaga ang nagbigay ng linaw kung saan napunta ang confidential funds. Matatanda ang iginiit ni Madriaga na nasimot umano not in 11 days but in less than 24 hours ang 125 million confidential funds ni Vice President Sara Duterte noong 2022.
Answers to the clarificatory questions propounded to witnesses Pantunal, the notary public, Ramil Madriaga, the PSA, the ICFAO of COA, the head of the Legislative Archives of the House of Representatives, and ultimately from Attorney Michael Poa, and also the NBI. So, you will notice that the clarificatory questions mostly pertain to the allegations of confidential fund. And we limited the questions to merely clarificatory. Again, that is to maintain the position that this is just a clarificatory hearing and we are not holding a trial. That would be all for the opening statement.
Hi po, good evening. Red Mendoza from the Manila Times. May lumabas po kasi ngayong kakalabas lang na isang statement kasi Madriaga claimed in the number 45 of his affidavit na he gave a painting to Vice President Sara Duterte. Galing sa isang scholar. Ngayon, may lumabas coming from Tanya Gaysanoli, a noted Visayas Mindanao artist who claimed that the painting was hers, hindi galing kay Madriaga. So, ano pong masasabi niyo po dito na apparently itong painting na sinasabi ni Madriaga sa affidavit ay hindi pala galing sa scholar niya, as he claimed in his affidavit, but came from a known visual artist from Davao, and she has the proof of it. So, what can you say about it po?
I think that question is best asked of Mr. Madriaga, firstly, or second, of Attorney Palad, yung pong abogado ni Mr. Madriaga. Kasi it is they that submitted the affidavit. So, we will consider all of statements, all of the parts of the affidavit of Mr. Madriaga. We have to look at it with a grain of salt, no? So, wala naman ho kaming tinatanggap ng buong buo, wala din ho kaming itinatabi na buong buo, no? So, we will see po in the next couple of days kung ano pa ho yung ibang mga bahagi. But that particular question is better asked of Mr. Madriaga and the lawyer of Mr. Madriaga.
Nasa lang on my end. Kasi, if that line dun sa affidavit niya maaring mali or false, do you think po ba babagsak po ba yung testimony ni Madriaga because of that? Kasi parang baka malaglag yung testimony niya. Kasi if the painter said na hindi sa kanya yung painting, na hindi si Madriaga gumawa ng painting na yon, of course there could be questions on the other lines of his testimony.
Tingin ko hindi naman po malalaglag yun kasi una, the question on the painting is irrelevant to the questions relating to the impeachment. Kaya nga, halimbawa, as far as some of the members are concerned, nakatutok lang ho sila alin ba doon sa affidavit niya yung may actual na epekto doon po sa impeachable offenses na pinag-usapan, betrayal, public trust, culpable violation of the Constitution, among others. So, kung hindi ho siya related doon, as far as other members are concerned, parang extraneous na ho yun on the determination nito pong katotohanan o hindi katotohanan ng mga sinasabi po niya.
Sir, good evening. Good evening po. Ma'am, Lianes Kapandi, GMA News Online. Ma'am, yung sa COA lang, notice of disallowance was issued covering 375 million for 2023 confidential fund expenses of the OVP on top of the 73 million ND that was upheld. Would that be correct po?
That is correct in as far as the statement of Attorney Camora is concerned. But you've heard us. We will be waiting for the submission of the official copy of both the decision denying the appeal and the notices of disallowance. We haven't received official copy of these documents.
Ma'am, given na lahat nung entire releases, bale may notice of disallowance, is that yung 4 na notice of disallowance ba from COA, would you say corroborates what Madriaga said about money being disbursed huge amount of money being disbursed in a day or in 11 days?
Well, I think the notices of disallowance pertains to non-compliance to the joint circular. And this is separate to the testimony of Ramil Madriaga with respect to the actual delivery of the duffel bags containing 30 to 35 million each, no? Pag sinabi nating notice of disallowance, the consequence or the effect of this is that the DepEd or the OVP failed to comply with the joint circular pertaining to the utilization of confidential fund.
Ma'am, to think na, di ba every quarter yung releases? So given na 4 yung ND, every quarter na nag-release, may ND. What does it say about how the OVP uses it's confidential funds?
Well, the only thing I can say is that the COA maintains the position that they violated the joint circular. No more, no less. That's all it says.
Sir, baka may dadagdag si Sir Kong Chua po and Kong Terry. What does it say? I mean, is it, kasi lahat po per quarter, lahat may ND. So what does it say about the Vice
Actually,
President?
3 quarters lang yan for 2023. First, second, and third. And that pertains to the confidential fund of the OVP. The one that pertains to the fourth quarter of 2022, that is a denial of the appeal to the notice of disallowance.
Can I follow up po? Sorry. Marian from TV5. In-affirm po, so ibig sabihin final po na may notice of disallowance, 73.2 million pesos, kailangan ibalik ng OVP, final na po ito. Gaano kabigat po itong ebidensyang ito, lalo na doon sa one of the allegations, plunder po, 50 million pesos yung kailangan, yung mag-reach.
Well, mabigat ho yun kasi yung po nga depensa nila na wala pa ng mga pagsasara. Dito po sa usapin na ito dahil ND pa lang. Yung 2022 confidential funds issue, wala na ho yun. Basically, that is demolished. Kasi nga, may finality na po yung commission proper on the question. So, malaya sila, of course, to go to the Supreme Court, pero like what had been previously stated, there is already an obligation to return the money. Ang nakatali na po ron, si Ms. Acosta, yung Chief Accountant, at si Vice President Sara Duterte. So, the three of them will have to return that amount to government.
But sir, yun yung po yung allegation nga na mali yung pinagamitan ng pondo, maaaring may malversation, plunder. What can we say about this na gaano kalaki pong kumbagang ebidensya nga po ito para doon particularly?
Ganito lang po yan. Nag-i-issue po ng audit observation memo muna pagka may problema yung paggamit sa pondo. May problema o mali yung paggamit o walang mga kulang-kulang sa dokumento. So pagkatapos po niyan, pag hindi mo pa rin ma-justify, bibigyan ka ng notice of disallowance. So, sa notice of disallowance, kailangan may paliwanag mo pa rin. Pag hindi mo pa rin may paliwanag sa notice of disallowance, bago lalabas yung final, yung kaninang binabanggit po ng COA. So, ibig sabihin po niyan, it's either mali yung paggamit, hindi na justify, o hindi talaga may mali talaga dun sa, kasi lahat naman ng pondo may mga kanya-kanyang menu. So ibig sabihin yan, pag sinabi mo menu, ito lang yung bounds kung saan mo dapat gamitin itong pondo. Halimbawa, ang confidential fund, dapat ito lang yung mga dapat mong gamitin. So kaya kanilalabasan ng mga ganyan ng COA, ibig sabihin mali yung paggamit mo or hindi akma dun sa binibigay na parameters. So, yun po lang lumabas dyan. Ibig sabihin, hindi po nila na-justify. Nung binigyan po sila ng AOM, binigyan sila ng notice of disallowance, lahat po yan, hindi nila justify, kaya lahat, yung appeal po nila ay hindi po napagbigyan.
Sige po, siguro i-follow up na lang namin yung sa ombudsman. Pero Kong Ridon, we would like to ask sana, kasi initially you said na ibibigay niyo po yung bloodbath kay VP Sara ngayong araw na ito. Una, naibigay niyo po ba? Tingin niyo yung bloodbath? Ano po yung asahan natin sa April 22? I understand you also subpoenaed former Senator Antonio Trillanes and the Anti-Money Laundering Council. Gaano kalaki po ba yung pagdinig sa susunod pong next week, April 22?
Well, tingin ko, talaga pong binitbit ho ng pagdinig po na ito, yung laban, ngayong araw na ito, dahil marami pong mga nailahad sa bayan ngayon pong araw na ito. So, yung pong testimonya ni Mr. Madriaga, so iba't iba ho yung facets nung kanya pong testimonya, but specific to the impeachment, yung sinasabi niya yung delivery of duffel bags, mula po sa confidential funds sa pamamagitan po ng mga delivery sa iba't ibang mga lokasyon. Pangalawa, yung pong NBI, anong sabi ho nila? Ang kanilang pagtingin, iilan lang po yung mga taong pumirma dito po sa mga pangalan sa confidential funds po na ito, katulad ni Milky Sequia, Mary Grace Piatos, at iba pa. Pangatlo, yung pong PSA. Mahalaga po yung testimonya ho nila dahil sinabi ho talaga nila na hindi ho totoong tao si Mary Grace Piatos at iba pang mga karakter dito po sa confidential funds acknowledgement receipts. No? Hindi ho sila pinanganak, hindi ho sila kinasal, hindi ho sila namatay. No? So, mabibigat pong mga testimonya po ito, no, na tingin ko ngayon ho nabigyan ng aktual na pagpapatotoo sa proseso po ng impeachment. No? Nabanggit na ko kanina, yung pong susunod pong pagdinig. Tama po kayo, bahagi po ng pagdinig yung pagtalakay na po sa unexplained wealth at SALN issues. So, mababanggit po sa susunod po pagdinig yung SALN ng atin po Pangalawang Pangulo, yung kanilang ITR submissions, yung pong kanilang mga bank transactions. No? Kung may makita ho yung AMLC, at syempre panghuli, kung ano ho yung mga babanggitin pong mga detalye ni former Senator Sonny Trillanes.
Last na lang po. Meron pong statement yung isa sa mga abogado ni VP Sara, si Attorney Paolo Panelo. Tinawag po nila nga na fraud o manloloko daw. Etong si Madriaga, hindi naman daw po na ipakita din yung mga ebidensya na namigay nga actually daw ng ng pera si VP Sara, kaya weakest link pa rin daw siya.
Yung test of credibility ni Madriaga, yan masusubukan sa Senado. Kami dito, ang trabaho namin dito is determination of probable cause lamang. So, malalaman po natin yan kung totoo o hindi yung mga pinagsasabi niya pagdating po sa Senado once siya po ay kinross-examine na.
Chair Chu, sir, kapatid nung... Sir, hi. Chair, kapatid nung issue ng manumalyang paggamit ng pondo ng OVP at DepEd tapos yung mga findings ng ibang ahensya. Kanina pinresenta rin ng NBI yung findings nila na yung mga acknowledgement receipts na unang natisod ng inyong komite at nakitang meron ngang medyo pagkaka-similarity dun sa mga handwriting, and the NBI confirming that earlier. Gaano po kabigat yun na isa rin probably, sir, na pwedeng ebidensya, and does it put credibility rin, sir, for your committee na unang nakatisod ng findings na yun way back 2024?
Yung mga nagdetermine ng handwriting, mga handwriting expert to eh. So, sa mga korte, yung mga kanilang mga opinion ay napakahalaga. Kaya mabibigat po yung mga salaysay na bibitawan po nila.
Sir, anong reaction or interpretation mo lang na may parehong handwriting yung magkakaibang pangalan pero pareho ng pagkakasulat kamay tapos hindi nag-i-exist yung mga tao na yun according to PSA? What do you get from that, sir?
So, makikita natin yung pattern. So, maaaring isang tao lamang ang mga pumirma, iba-ibang pangalan o iba-ibang penmanship ang ginamit, pero yung stroke ay madedetermine mo na iisang tao lang ang gumawa.
Habulin niyo po ba, sir, halimbawa na mauwi talaga to sa trial by Senate, nahanapin yung mga tao na yun, maipresenta at makita to the end point na hindi talaga sila nag-i-exist?
I think yung certification ng PSA, enough na. Sufficient na para masabi na hindi nag-i-exist. Now, yung burden of proof na ito sila ay nag-i-exist, nasa respondent.
Thank you, sir.
Hello po. Today po ba masasabi natin na natapos na po natin exhaustively yun pong clarificatory questions on alleged misuse of confidential funds?
Yes. At least for those witnesses which subpoena we have issued already, no? As a matter of fact, tinanong tayo if we will be requiring Attorney Camora to come back for the next hearing, and we said no because she answered already ample amount of clarificatory questions. What is only needed for her to do is to submit the official copy of the decision of commission proper as well as the notices of disallowance. We intend to focus for the next hearing on the allegations of unexplained wealth, and that is why the Ombudsman, the SEC, and the BIR were not asked in our today's hearing. So these three agencies, along with Senator Trillanes, along with the AMLA, will be the one to be asked for purposes of clarificatory hearing this April 22, 2026.
I asked po kasi, will there still be a possibility for Ramil Madriaga to be subpoenaed by the House Justice Committee? Because sa supplemental affidavit ni Madriaga, meron po dong portion on destabilization against the administration of PBBM. And meron din pong allegations against the Vice President in relation to that. So, will there be a chance for him to face or to be subpoenaed again by the House Justice Committee?
We will hear from the majority of the members if there's a need to call again Ramil Madriaga to our proceeding. No? Depende yon sa majority ng justice members. Because, again, let us be reminded, the standard that is being observed here is only the existence of probable cause. So, it will depend on the justice members really, whether there is need to ask Madriaga to appear again before the Justice Committee.
Susugan ko lang po yung question ni Ate Lance po from Newswatch Plus. You've mentioned po na unexplained wealth and threats yung magiging focus ng next hearing. But in the scenario na the Vice President suddenly appears in the April 2022 hearing and she chooses to respond to the allegations concerning confidential funds, will that still be accommodated by the committee?
We will receive the evidence which she will present, regardless of whether it pertains to the confidential fund, the allegations of unexplained wealth or threat, because the rule provides that at any stage of that proceeding, she is entitled to present her evidence.
Ma'am, yung clarify ko lang po yung sa subpoena on AMLAC records, bank records. Initially po, Attorney Mans Carpio, the Vice President, and immediate family, yung gusto ni Congressman Jokno. Ano po yung wisdom? Bakit na-limit na lang po kay Attorney Mans and Vice President Sara?
Ako, sir. Well, syempre, we would want to be able to limit lang din po, no? Yung pong mga information na makukuha po natin from the AMLAC, no? Kasi syempre, ano yun talaga, very coercive yung power po nung inquiry. It's not bank records, it's just banking transactions which we can get from the MLC, no? And syempre, yung relevancy ho talaga kailangan ma-establish, eh. No? So, ano yung relevancy nun? Kailangan kay Mr. Mans Carpio lang and kay Vice President Sara Duterte. Kasi yan ho yung ibabangga ho natin dun sa net worth ho niya. No? And yung net worth can be built from the assets of both, of Attorney Mans and Vice President Sara Duterte. So tingin ko, hindi na kailangan isama pa yung labas pa sa kanila pong dalawa.
Because, kasi nabanggit kasi ni Madriaga yung about accounts of former President Duterte, but it wasn't included in the complaint. Would that be right?
No,
Kaya hindi na kailangan for the
No, it's whether the former president was mentioned, it is irrelevant to what we would want to inquire into. The reason why it's limited to Mans Carpio and Vice President Duterte is simply because when you build the forensics analysis there, it should only be limited to them both. Kasi the net worth in the SALN should be based only on the wealth of these two parties.
Last two questions on my end. Kung kasi, of course, ito, lumalabas ito sa social media, yung claim ni Madriaga na he knows the Vice President because close daw siya, nagbigay siya ng happy birthday and all. But the supporters here are saying na kahit naman sino pwedeng magbigay ng happy birthday message magbigay ng happy birthday message si Vice President Sara Duterte, even the closest supporters or even those who don't know the Vice President from ADAM, pwedeng ng happy birthday. Hindi ba yon? Hindi ba medyo nung claim na kilala niya si Vice President Sara Duterte, where so many people and even the parallel groups of the Vice President know her by name?
That is the job of the lawyer of the Vice President sa cross-examine yung credibility ni Madriaga. So ulitin ko, ang trabaho po namin is just probable cause, determination of probable cause. Yung credibility ni Madriaga as to the relationship of Madriaga to the Vice President at yung kung ano mga sinasabi niya, matetest po yan comes trial proper sa Senado.
Last question. Napansin ko po to kanina during the questions kanina na some of the congressmen have been asking, sabi nga, probing questions. Pero Chair Jinky, you prevented them from doing these probing questions na dapat clarificatory questions lang, nakadikit lang sa affidavit or dun sa mga testimony or dun sa mga transcripts. Is this something related doon ba sa final na kaso ng kampo ni Vice President sa Duterte Supreme Court na iniiwas kayo na gawin siyang parang more into, parang naghahabol kayo ng evidence? Pero ang inanyo nyo lang is doon lang kayo nakatutok doon sa mga questions na nakadikit doon sa affidavit. Bakit ganun ngayon yung ano?
Ulitin ko po, probable cause lang. So yung probing question, mas malalim na tanong na sa trial proper po ulit yun. Kaya dito po, ang tanungan lang dapat within the bounds, doon lang sa affidavit. Kaya kung makikita mo, kahit naman po kami, kahit si Congressman Terry nagtatanong, napipigil din. Dahil yun po talaga yung rules. Probing question ay hindi po pwede dahil ito ay determination of probable cause lamang.
Not related doon sa mga issue na na-file na sa Supreme Court. Kasi para lang ma-clarify na baka kasi inisip ng iba na kaya kayo nag-iiwas sa mga probing questions ay dahil baka magamit as evidence sa case na final sa Supreme Court.
Red, hindi ganun.
Sinusunod lang po namin yung rules through the letter.
Thank you.
Maraming salamat.
Madam Chair.
Madam Chair, should we not
Chair.
ask Madriaga to submit first the waiver?
He submitted already. As a matter of fact, after you signed it, Mr. Madriaga, kindly show it to the committee. Kindly show it to the committee.
Kanino po ako mag-oath, Madam
Mr.
Chair? Mag-oath po doon sa... Hindi na po mag-oath sa...
He is already under oath.
Yung para po sa waiver po, hindi na po kailangan.
Okay. So before finally excusing Mr. Madriaga, we are requesting you to stand up to
Madam
swear
Chair.
us to the veracity of your waiver of bank secrecy law.
Madam Chair, before the affiant takes his oath, may we just know if it has been explained to him, if his counsel has properly advised him about the waiver that he will take an oath to?
Mr. Madriaga, nauunawaan niyo po ba itong waiver ng bank secrecy na law na ito at ang magiging epekto nito?
Opo, Madam Chair.
Ibig sabihin po nito ay mabubuksan yung bank records nyo na inyong binanggit sa inyong supplemental affidavit without us violating the bank secrecy law. You are losing the protection of bank secrecy law. Naunawaan nyo po ba yun?
Opo, Madam Chair, I'm fully aware.
Ito po bang isinagawa ninyong ito ay may paggabay na ibinigay sa inyo ang abogado nyong katabi nyo ngayon, whom I know is Attorney Palad.
Opo, Madam Chair.
So, naiintindihan nyo po ang inyong ginagawang ito?
Opo, Madam Chair.
Okay. Kindly raise your right hand. As to the contents of this waiver of bank secrecy law, do you subscribe and swear to the truthfulness of the contents of this document? You do.
Opo, Madam Chair, I do.
Thank you. So you may take your seat.
Salamat po.
Again, for the record, this waiver of bank secrecy law will be received by the COMSEC to form part of the records of our proceeding today. The Honorable Adjong.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Maraming salamat po. Magandang hapon, Mr. Madriaga. Gusto ko lang pong linawin yung inyong salaysay dahil ito ay nilahad sa wikang Ingles. Para po maintindihan ng karamihan sa atin ngayon, gusto ko lang pong tanungin yung mga few portions doon po sa inyong paglalahad ng inyong affidavit and yung supplemental affidavit. Madam Chair, let us remember that, again, I also echo the sentiment of my good friend, Representative Lagbas, that we should confine our questions with the complaints under the Saballa et al. Complaint. Parte po doon sa complaint na yon ay yung sinasabing utilization ng confidential funds which is amounting to 125 million. Sinabi niyo po, Mr. Madriaga, sa inyong salaysay na on December 20, 2022, nakatanggap kayo ng tawag kay VP Sara at sabi niya, and I quote, "Sir Ram, please coordinate with Colonel Nolasco. Meron tayong deliver sa San Pablo, Laguna, sa Night Strip at sa Ombudsman." Tama po ba yun? Although in English, tinagalog ko na lang po yung ano ha. Tama po ba yun?
Tama po, Madam Chair. Tama po, Your Honor.
Tama po. Ito pong si Colonel Nolasco na sinasabi po ng Vice President, ito po yung sinasabi niyo po din sa inyong affidavit na pinakilala niyo po. Na matagal niyo na pong kakilala na ano po yung in what capacity were you together before you introduced Colonel Nolasco to the team of VP Sara or VP Sara?
2018 po ako nag-start sa PSG sa utos po ni dating Presidente Duterte.
Okay.
Nakilala ko po noon si Colonel, Major pa lang po siya noon, Major Lachica. Nag-introduce po kami ng specialized subject doon, kasama ko po sila, General Rimando at si General Victor Corpus.
Okay.
Ayun po yung security safety.
So ibig sabihin, kilala niyo nga po, when she referred to Colonel Nolasco, kilala niyo na nga po itong si Colonel Nolasco. Tama?
Opo, Madam Chair. Opo, Your
Okay.
Honor.
So pagkatapos po noon, ay nakatanggap naman po kayo kay Colonel Nolasco ng text message na sinasabi po, according to your affidavit, na pumunta kayo sa DepEd Central Office para sa isang transport. Tama po ba?
Opo, Your Honor.
Okay. So, ito pong transport, yung term na transport, according din po sa inyong affidavit, ay nangangahulugan din pong delivery. Tama po ba ang aking pagkaintindi?
Opo, Your Honor. Opo, Madam Chair.
So, yung pag-text po sa iyo na ni Colonel Nolasco na pumunta tayo sa DepEd Central for a transport, alam nang niyo po na meron po kayong delivery na ibibigay doon sa or tatanggapin doon sa DepEd Central Office. Tama po ba?
Opo, Madam
Okay.
Chair.
Okay, tapos nung dumating na po kayo doon sa DepEd Central Office, nakita niyong may naglalakad na si Colonel Nolasco at may kasamang isang babae na you learned later on as the Special Disbursing Officer, Gina Acosta. Tama po ba? This is also according to your affidavit.
Hindi po.
Ano pong nangyari doon?
Ang kasama po ni Colonel Lachica po yung lumapit sa amin ni Colonel
okay.
Nolasco. Kasama
Okay.
niya po yung babae po.
Okay. So, ibig sabihin, dumating po kayo doon, kasama niyo po si Colonel Nolasco, tapos si Colonel Lachica, kasama niya po si SDO Gina Acosta. Tama po ba yon?
Hindi ko po sure yung Acosta. I can remember her face but not the name.
It's, Madam Chair, for the information of this August Chamber, according to the affidavit of Mr. Madrega, which he read earlier, on page 12, ang sinabi, number 18, page 18, page 18, number 60, at around, I'm quoting directly from the affidavit of Colonel Mr. Madriaga, at around past 3 to 4 p.m., two government vehicles with red plates entered the DepEd compound, and then Colonel Nolasco told me, ayan na, ayan na. Colonel La Chica appeared with a lady who I later learned to be Special Disbursement Officer SDO Gina Acosta. Thereafter, 4 large dark bags were unloaded from the vehicles, 3 large bags and 1 lighter colored and relatively smaller bag. Colonel Nolasco told me that each bag contained around 30 million pesos to 35 million pesos. Tama po ba yung pagkabasa ko? Sa affidavit?
Tama po.
So tama lang po yung pagkasabi ko na nung dumating po kayo doon sa DepEd ay nakita niyo po si Colonel La Chica papalapit na may kasama si SDO Acosta, which you later learned as the Special Disbursement Officer. Tama po ba yun?
Tatandaan ko po yung mukha po ng babae pero hindi po ko familiar nung nakita ko sa pangalan nung time na yun.
Okay, pero kasi sinabi naman po, later you learned that it was
Yes, sir.
the Special Disbursement Officer
Si Gina
Gina
Acosta po. Opo.
Gina Acosta. Ngayon, sinabi niyo din po doon sa inyong salaysay na after few years na nalaman sa publiko, and this was also being reported publicly, that the 125 million confidential funds were actually spent in 11 days. At according to you, hindi po yun totoo dahil 24 hours ay nai-deliver na namin yung amount na yun. Tama po ba yun?
Tama po, Madam Chair, Your Honor.
So yung pinakita po kanina ni aking kasamahan na duffel bags na na-mention din niyo po dito sa inyong affidavit na duffel bags, yun po yung eksaktong nakuha ninyo na received from by you from Colonel La Chica and Gina Acosta, as you mentioned here in your affidavit, as the amount to be transported or to be delivered. Tama po ba yun?
Opo, Your Honor.
Okay. Nakita nyo naman po yung bag na yon at tinuro pinakonfirm po sa inyo yon at na-describe nyo naman po kung gaano kalaki at kaliit. Tama po ba yung kanina lang, no?
Opo,
So,
Your
ibig
Honor.
sabihin, kung kayo po yung nag-transport at na-deliver nito, at kayo, sabi nyo nga po, kumuha kayo ng 1 million, ibig sabihin, nahawakan nyo po itong duffel bags na ito. Tama
Opo,
po ba?
opo, Madam Chair. Opo, Your
So,
Honor.
mabigat ba?
Opo.
Gaano kabigat?
Madam Chair.
Sa
Probing.
The Honorable Adjong, let us confine ourselves
Okay.
to what
Okay.
appears in the affidavit already.
Okay, I'm just curious because he describes. Yeah, I know. I understand. So I will simply, Madam Chair, inform the honorable chamber that as what had intimated earlier by one of our colleagues, that we should confine our questions pertaining to the affidavit of Col. Madriaga when it comes to the second complaint, which is basically the 125 million pesos spent in just 11 days. It appears, Madam Chair, that the person involved in the distribution of this 125 belies the 11 days, but in fact admitted that it was spent within 24 hours. That is exactly what his affidavit is saying, and that was we are trying, Mr. Chair, to actually solicit from him and to confirm whether his allegations, his affidavits are true or not. Maraming salamat, Mr. Madriaga. Maraming salamat, Madam Chair.
Maraming salamat po.
Thank you, Honorable Adjong. Any other Justice members who wish to raise clarificatory questions? I will be calling Honorable Abante,
Madam Chair.
and then Honorable Jokno, and then Honorable Tinio.
Madam Chair, before they...
Is this a point of order?
No, I just wanted to finalize some of the questions.
With the indulgence of the Justice members I have called already, mayroon yata pong naiwang question si Kong Ridon. So with your indulgence, we recognize the Honorable Ridon.
Maiksi na lang po. Very important ho, Madam Chair, Mr. Madriaga, na maging tapat sa komite at sa bayan dito sa usapin po na ito dahil mabigat yung mga paratang. Binanggit po ninyo sa supplemental affidavit yung pong kahandaan po ninyo na magbukas ng inyo pong mga bank accounts for further scrutiny ng komite at ng Senate Impeachment Court in the event na tumawid po ito sa Senado. Do you confirm this commitment that you will allow yourself, allow the committee and the future proceedings or tribunals to open your bank accounts?
I confirm po, Madam Chair,
So at this,
Your Honor.
Okay, at this point po ba, Mr. Madriaga, kayo po ba ay pipirma ng bank waiver para ho mabuksan ng lahat ng relevant bodies katulad ng komiteng ito, katulad po ng Senate Impeachment Court at ng iba pang mga law enforcement or investigative bodies na masilip po yung nilalaman ng inyong pong bank account. Kasi particularly, binanggit po ninyo sa inyong pong affidavit na marami pong kaperahan na pumasok at lumabas sa inyong pong mga accounts. Do you confirm that you will sign a bank waiver?
Opo, Madam Chair, I will sign po.
Alright, yun lang po, Madam Chair.
Thank you. Now we recognize the Honorable Abante.
Madam Chair.
Thank you.
Is this a point of order, Honorable
Not a
Ilago?
point of order, but may I also be listed in
Yes.
one of the...
Yes.
Thank you.
Same here, Madam Chair.
Yes, Honorable De Lima. Now is Honorable Abante's turn.
Salamat po, Madam Chair. Nabanggit mo sa supplemental affidavit mo, Mr. Ramil Madriaga, babasahin ko mula doon sa sa number 14. Ang sabi nyo ay, sometime in 2021, PRRD gave me 25 million. Yun po ba ina-attest ninyo tama?
Opo, Madam Chair, opo, Your Honor.
Ibinigay sa inyo ni PRRD mismo. Siya
Opo.
personally, yung 25 million.
Opo, Madam Chair, opo, Your Honor.
Pero sinasabi niya, wala siyang pera eh.
Meron po,
Meron.
madami po.
Itong 25 million na ito, ang sabi mo dito, to purchase high-end motorcycles. Kaya bumili kayo ng dalawang 2021 model Harley-Davidson motorcycles at nilagay nyo sa pangalan ng anak nyo. Tama ho yun po.
Opo, sa akin po, tsaka sa anak ko.
Tapos, bumili po kayo ng Ducati motorcycles, nilagay nyo naman sa pangalan nyo.
Opo, Madam Chair. Opo, Your Honor.
Okay. I am sure na ito pong mga binili nyo, meron pong OR and CR to, hindi po ba?
Opo, Madam Chair. Opo, Your Honor.
Yung po ba itinatago ninyo?
Opo.
At
Your Honor.
ilalabas nyo po sa tagtang panahon?
Opo, Your Honor.
Okay, so, Madam Chair, pinapaliwanag po ng ating resource person dito na tinatago po niya ang OR and CR ng dalawang Harley-Davidson motorcycles na nasa pangalan ng anak niya at yung Ducati motorcycles na nasa pangalan niya. Ayan po, gusto ko lang sabihin na ito po ilalabas niya, no? Gayun din yung mga binili mo na mga Yamaha, di ba?
Apo.
Ilan yung nabili mo, nakalagay dito?
Pito po na brand new na Yamaha NMAX.
Oo. Yun din po ba nasa pangalan ninyo?
Ay, hindi po, sa mga leader na po ng isip.
Ang sinabi po ninyo, lahat po ng mga ito, number 18 nakalagay nyo, all purchases of these motorcycles, including the aforementioned accessories, were paid in cash using the money given to me by PRRD.
Opo,
Tama
Your
ho
Honor.
ba yun?
Opo, Your Honor.
Akala ko wala siyang pera.
Madami po.
Marami siyang pera.
Opo.
Gusto ko lang pong ipaliwanag na marami palang pera sa PRRD. Hindi po si BP Sara nagbigay sa inyo.
Hindi po.
Alright. Ngayon, the fact na pwede niyong ibigay, siguro, Madam Chair, hindi lamang dito sa committee hearing na ito, kundi kung yan po ay nasa Senado na, ay pwede mong ibigay yan. O pwede mo rin ibigay sa amin ngayon para makita po namin. Ngayon, yung pong inyo ring binanggit na 175 million. Siya nga pala, ito pong 25 million na ito po ba ay personal na pera ni Presidente, dating Presidente, o ito po ikinuha rin naman sa gobyerno?
Personal po.
Personal?
Apo.
Hindi po sa gobyerno yan?
Hindi po.
Okay.
Honorable Abante, the last question is a probing question already. So may I solicit a motion to strike out from the record the last question and the last answer of Madriaga
Tulad po ng
as to the nature of the money that was handed to him.
tulad po ng sinabi ni Congressman Rufus, I submit to the
Yes,
wisdom
may I
of-
solicit a motion?
So moved, Madam Chair.
There is a motion to strike out from the record the last question on the nature of the money that was handed to Ramil Madriaga. Is there a second? Same has been seconded. Any objection? Hearing none, the motion is approved. Please
Okay.
strike out from the record.
Pwede ko bang ituloy po, Madam
Yes,
Chair?
you may proceed, Honorable Abante.
Yung pong 175 million na ibinigay ni Lin Wei Xiong, siya po ba ay, gusto ko lang malaman, Madam Chair, baka probing na naman to. Di ba? Ito
That's
pong
why
si-
please be very careful.
si
Make
Lin-
sure that your
Gusto ko lang
question
po-
is
pwede ko
already
ba
in the
sabihin-
affidavit.
Pwede ba tanungin dito kung si Lin Wei Xiong ay isang Chinese resident?
I think that will be a probing question also because that is outside the context of the affidavit of the resource person.
Alright. 100 million po ay galing kay Maestrado Lim. Tama ho ba yun? Sinabi
Tama po, Your Honor.
Ito po bang mga pondong ito, may mga kasamang documentation o deed of donation or acknowledgement receipt sa inyong pagkakaalam?
Is that stated in the affidavit also?
Nakalagay din po.
Opo,
Wala.
Madam Chair.
All right, you may proceed.
Yung 100 million po, tsaka yung 175 million, through phone calls lang po yun na to pick up para gamitin namin pondo sa ISIP Pilipinas, Madam Chair.
Oo. Okay. Doon po sa pictures ng Annex A, nakalagay po ba ito sa inyong supplemental affidavit? Ito pong manager's check? Nakalagay din po ba ito sa inyong
Opo.
supplemental? Ano po itong manager's check na ito? 84,200,000. Ano po nakalagay sa inyong supplemental affidavit? Tungkol po dito, pakita nga natin.
Can we flash that portion of the affidavit, subject matter of the clarificatory hearing?
Hindi po na ipakita ito eh. Ito ba kasama din? Yung 4.8 million na manager's check. Kasama rin to sa inyong supplemental affidavit.
Opo, kasama po.
Kasama rin po. Medyo mapakita natin.
The allegation on the 4.8 million in the affidavit.
Kasama
What
po,
number
Madam.
is that,
Kasama nyo.
Honorable Abante, what number is that in the affidavit?
Annex A. Annex A1.
Oh, it is an attachment. It is an
yes.
attachment.
Oo. Pero kasama sa supplemental
Yes.
affidavit.
That is annex.
Annex A and Annex A1.
Can we flash Annex A and Annex A1? We are reminding the justice members that our clarificatory questions are limited to 5 minutes only. If that will not be sufficient, you will be listed for the second round.
Wala ba?
Annex A and Annex A-1. These are attachments to the impeachment, to the supplemental affidavit of Mr. Madriaga. Kindly flash. There.
Ayan.
Okay,
Pero
let's start
hindi
with Annex A.
Hindi nyo po nailagay sa inyong supplemental affidavit kung sino nabigay sa inyo.
Itinawag po ni dating Presidente Duterte na pick upin ko po sa safe house namin sa Eastwood. Yung 2 cheque, tsaka cash. Pero 2 cheque po na yan, hindi ko po na ipinalit kasi wala po akong account sa land bank. Tsaka masyadong malaki po. Alam ko po pwede akong ma-imbestigahan sa
Ay, di, pero
AMLAC.
cheque eh. Di ba? So, walang bigat yan. Di ba?
Apo.
Cheque, no?
Apo.
Ang bigat na sinasabi mo, eh baka sa AMLAC, ganun.
Opo, yung inisip ko po pag dineposit ko po.
Madam Chair, pwede po ba nating ipatawag ang ilang mga pangalan dito nabanggit ni Mr. Ramil Madriaga? For example, like si Antonio Monsayak, si Colonel Nolasco, si Colonel La Chica, pati yung Gina Acosta.
We will defer our concern on issuing subpoena for additional witnesses until we have presented all the resource persons, rather, who have complied already. We have a
Alright.
long list of resource persons already in line.
Dalawang tanong na lamang po. Ito pong relationship ninyo with the respondent. Sinabi po ni VP Sara na dinenay niya na meron kayong personal or professional relationship. Yun ang pagkakasabi po niya. Pero, yung pong nakita namin mga picture, nagsasabi na talagang kilala niyo siya. Ano po?
Opo, Madam Chair.
Meron po ba kayong ebidensya like non-logs, visitors entries, or gate passes sa Malacanang o Davao City Hall o sa OBP
That
office?
is a probing question already, Honorable Abante.
Okay. Wala siguro. Anyway, yun lang po. At meron pa pero hindi ko na itatanong. Baka probing question uli. Alright.
Thank you.
So, maraming
For the
salamat
guidance
po.
of the justice members, we are reminded to confine our questions to merely clarificatory because this is just a clarificatory hearing. We are not holding a trial. Your probing questions must be raised during the stage of the trial already. Now we proceed to our next justice member, the Honorable Chel Jokno.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Magandang hapon, Mr. Madriaga.
Magandang hapon po, Your Honor.
May I request, Madam Chair, that the committee secretary flash paragraph 55 of the supplemental affidavit on the screen.
Kindly flash paragraph 55 of the supplemental affidavit.
Sabi po ninyo, Mr. Madriaga, I quote, "In the morning of December 20, 2022, Sarah called me and said, Sir Ram, please coordinate with Colonel Nolasco, etc." Sino pong Sarah ang tinutukoy niyo dito?
Si Vice President Sara Duterte po, Your Honor.
Ngayon, saan ka tinawagan? Sa landline ba yan o sa cellphone?
Sa cellphone ko po, yung designated na cellphone ba ginagamit namin.
Yung cellphone na yon, yun ba ay prepaid o postpaid?
Prepaid po yung bigay po ni Presidente sa akin.
Honorable Jokno, please refrain in raising probing questions.
Well, may I just explain why I'm asking these questions,
Yes,
Madam Chair?
but nonetheless, kindly
Oh, yes.
confine our question to the contents of the affidavit.
For the committee to fulfill its duty of determining whether Mr. Madriaga is telling the truth or not in his affidavit, it would be good if we could have some independent corroboration of his statement. For example, if a witness were to say, tinawagan ako, at may papakita niya halimbawa yung kanyang cellphone na na-save niya noon na meron talagang pumasok na call, then we can reasonably say, nagsasabi yan ng katotohanan. Or if, for example, the cellphone records will attest, kung let's say postpaid ang kanyang account, na talagang may tumawag sa kanya ng ganitong araw, again, we will be able to fulfill our duty and say, talagang nagsasabi ito ng katotohanan. At the same time, we can also, through the cell phone records, assuming, let's say, it's a postpaid, even identify kung nasaan lugar siya noong certain day and time. So that's why I'm asking these questions, simply for us to be able to fulfill our duty
Honorable
of assessing
Jokno.
the truth. But I do have just a few more questions, if I may, Madam Chair. Of course,
Yes, please.
if it is probing, I will submit to the discretion of the court, of the Honorable Chair. Nabanggit nyo rin sa paragraph 55 na meron kayong natanggap na text message Ang tanong ko lang po ay, na-save nyo ba yung message na yon, yung sabi ninyo dito na galing kay VP Sara?
Lahat po ng text niya sa akin, tsaka nila Colonel Nolasco, tsaka si former President, nakasave po sa iPhone ko. Hindi ko po ako nagbubura. Dahil yun po yung binigay sa akin ni Presidente Duterte.
Last question, Madam Chair, if I may. Nasaan po yung iPhone na yon, yung sinasabi?
Honorable Jokno, I
will
lament
submit-
that I have to prevent you from raising further questions along that line because that is probing already.
Thank
I'm
you.
sorry, but let us always be reminded that this is merely a clarificatory hearing.
Thank you, Madam Chair.
Are you finished, Honorable Jokno?
Yes, Chair.
Thank you. Now we recognize the Honorable Amben Amante. I'm sorry. Before Honorable Amben, Honorable Tino first.
Madam Chair, may I also...
Yes, I will list you down.
Thank you, Chair.
Madam Chair, am I recognized?
You may proceed, Honorable Tino.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Well, Madam Chair, una follow-up lang dun sa ni-raise ni Congressman Jokno. Mr. Madriaga says na meron siyang cellphone at nandun yung mga text message. Can the committee then subpoena the phone with the text messages, Madam Chair? Anyway, mentioned siya sa affidavit, and I think we should have access to such messages to verify the affidavit.
The Chair intends to defer discussion on the issuance of subpoena of further evidence and witnesses until all the resource persons that we have invited have been presented. Please
Then-
understand that we have a long line of witnesses to present, and each one of them have documents to present as well. So until and unless we are done with them, let us not or let us defer from discussing the necessity of issuing subpoena for additional evidence. Honorable Tino.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Then I will just make the motion at the proper time.
Madam Chair. Madam Chair.
May I just correct myself in the use of witness? All the persons we invited are resource persons and not witnesses.
Madam Chair.
That's for the guidance also of the justice members.
I would like to make a motion to include the supplemental affidavit to the fourth impeachment complaint, Madam Chair. So I move.
You are adopting the supplemental affidavit of Ramil Madriaga in support of the fourth impeachment complaint.
Yes. Thank you.
Is that a motion, Honorable Abante?
I'm making a motion, Madam Chair.
So do I hear a second to that? Is there any objection? Hearing none, the motion is granted.
Madam Chair, may I
The Honorable Laila De Lima.
thank you, Madam Chair. May I also make the same motion?
There is likewise a motion for the adoption of
Insofar
the
as the
supplemental affidavit
Insofar as the Sabalia et al. Complaint.
of Ramil Madriaga
Yes.
to be part of the third impeachment complaint, Sabalia et al. Complaint. Do I hear a second?
Second, Madam Chair.
The same has been seconded. Is there any objection? Hearing none, the motion is likewise granted. May we know if Honorable Tino has concluded?
No.
Not yet?
I
You may
have not yet
continue.
started, Madam Chair. Okay. Thank you, Madam Chair. Una, sinabi po dito, tumawag si VP Sara kay Mr. Madriaga at inatas na to coordinate with Colonel Nolasco. At sinabi sa paragraph 56, nagkita sila, at tinext siya ni Colonel Nolasco, and then nagkita sila sa DepEd Central Office. Okay. Madam Chair, pwedeng ma-clarify lang, bakit po nagkita sa DepEd Central Office at ano ba ang role ni Colonel Nolasco? Bakit nasa DepEd siya?
Honorable Tino, I lament that your question is a probing question already.
Well, Madam Chair, is it...
Maybe you can just
I will
ask the resource person to confirm if indeed
Oo.
Nolasco was there, they met in DepEd, but to go beyond what is contained in the supplemental affidavit would amount to probing already, testing the statement or the allegations contained
No,
in
Madam
the
Chair,
affidavit.
actually, gusto ko lang pumalinaw, sino ba si Colonel Nolasco? Ano ang role niya? I mean, context. It's to provide...
Okay, you may proceed.
Thank you, Madam Chair.
Who is?
Oo, who is Colonel Nolasco? Ano ba ang papel? Officially, ano ang kanyang role sa DepEd? Kung alam lang po ni Mr. Madriaga.
Mr. Madriaga?
Si Colonel Nolasco po, nung time na nanalo po si VP Sara, ang sinabi po niya sa akin, baka pwedeng lumipat na po siya ng VP-SPG nung nalaman niyang mag-separate na po. Sabi po niya sa akin, baka pwedeng ipalipat mo na ako doon. Kaya po, nailipat ko siya doon. Then sinabi niya, siya po daw ang inilagay as security officer
Ayun.
for DepEd.
Ayun, okay. So thank you Mr. Madriaga. At yun nga po, so naklaro na si Colonel Nolasco ang security officer ng VP-SPG na naka-assign sa DepEd.
Opo.
Kaya dun po sila nagkita sa DepEd. So yun po yung clarification na gusto natin dito. And to further emphasize, member siya ng VP-SPG. Yung VP-SPG, yan yung Vice Presidential Protection and Security Group. Okay, thank you. Ngayon, ito naman, sabi nyo sa paragraph 60, at around 3 or 4 p.m., may dalawang sasakyan na dumating. Tapos sabi ni Colonel Nolasco, ayan na. And then, Colonel La Chica appeared with a lady. Okay, si Colonel La Chica naman. Sino po si Colonel La Chica?
Si Colonel La Chica po, yung sinabi ko kay Colonel Nolasco na kumuha ka ng magli-lead sa inyo sa VP-SPG. Kasi hindi pa po siya pwede dahil Lieutenant Colonel pa lang po siya nun. So, kailangan po ng full-fledged Colonel.
Okay, so si Colonel La Chica ang head ng VP-SPG.
Opo, siya po yung naging head.
Okay, so si Colonel La Chica, head ng VP-SPG, tapos naka-assign siya sa Office of the Vice President.
Opo.
Tama po. Tapos ito namang si Colonel Nolasco, VP-SPG din, pero naka-assign sa DepEd. At nagkita sila sa DepEd. At may kasama siyang, sabi nyo nga, si Colonel La Chica, kasama niya yung isang babae at meron silang bit-bit na 4 na large dark bags. Tama po?
Tama po.
So sila ang may dala ng pera.
Opo.
Okay. At sinabi nyo, Colonel Nolasco told me that each bag contained around 30 million pesos to 35 million pesos. 4 na bag, 30 to 35 million pesos.
Opo.
Okay. Later, sinabi nyo sa dulo ng section na ito, a few years later, I read from several media reports that the 125 million pesos OVP confidential funds in 2022 were reportedly utilized in just 11 days. This is wrong because I personally disposed the money in less than 24 hours. No? Bakit po nyo nasabi yun na 125 days? Let me just confirm. Dahil po ba na yung 4 na bag, kapag in addition natin, 30 million to 35 million, pwedeng mag-total ng 125 million. Tama po ba?
Tama po.
Kaya sinabi nyo sa dulo na mukhang ito yung 125 million.
Opo,
Tama
Your
po
Honor.
ba?
Tama po, Your Honor.
Okay. Tapos, sinabi nyo, yung babae na kasama ni Colonel La Chica na nasa Office of the Vice President, sabi nyo rito, you later learned to be Special Disbursement Officer Gina Acosta. So sabi nyo, nung nagkita kayo, hindi nyo siya kilala. Tama po ba?
Opo, Madam Chair. Opo, Your Honor.
You just later learned na siya pala si Gina Acosta.
Tama po, Your
At
Honor.
siya ay Special Disbursement Officer. Ngayon, mahalaga po itong datos na ito. Could you just please explain yung who I later learned to be? Bakit nyo po nasabing who I later learned to be? Paano nangyari yon? When did you later learn it?
Yung unang nakita ko po siya nung time na yon, hindi ko pa po siya kilala.
Okay.
Tapos nakita ko po siya news nung 2024.
Okay.
Yung same face po nung babae na nakita ko, yung pagkaiba lang po yung headband.
Okay.
Na siya po si STO.
So
Acosta.
nakita nyo napanood nyo na lang later sa isang news
Opo,
report
sa
sa TV at sabi nyo, yung nakita ko, yung pala si Special Disbursement Officer Gina Acosta. Ngayon, bakit po importante yung datos na yung detalyeng ito? Dahil just for the record, Madam Chair, ang Special Disbursement Officer ng Office of the Vice President, siya yung direktang inappoint ng Vice President para humawak at mamahagi ng confidential funds. Yun lang po ang gusto nating manote dito. Okay. Tapos sinabi nyo, may 4 na bags, tapos nag-deliver kayo on the day of December 20 up to the morning of December 21.
Opo.
Tama po. Okay. Importante rin po yung dates na yun, Madam Chair, kasi December 20 na-release, ayon sa COA, pwedeng ma-confirm ng COA later, doon na in cash pala. Doon na in cash. December 20 was the day on which the confidential funds, the 125 million peso confidential funds was encashed.
That is your manifestation.
Yes, it's a manifestation. Okay. Nagbibigay lang po tayo ng context dito sa statement, Madam Chair. Okay. Tapos, tama po ba na yung isang bag ay binigay nyo sa mga tauhan ng, sabi nyo, a politician, no, sa Cabuyao. Tama po ba? Cabuyao, Laguna.
Tama po, Madam Chair.
At
Tama
sabi
po,
nyo,
Your
the
Honor.
first bag for a politician in Laguna. Tama po. Okay. Sino tong politician?
That's a probing question already, Honorable Tino.
Paano nyo nalaman na politician?
Ayun po yung sinabi sa akin ni BP Sara.
Okay.
Bawi tayo sa kanila.
Okay, bawi tayo sa kanila. Ano ibig sabihin ng bawi tayo sa
That's
kanila?
a probing
That is a
question
probing
already,
question.
Honorable Tino.
Okay. Sige. So, nagbigay kayo ng isang bag.
Opo.
Sa politician o para sa politician. Hindi yung politician ang direktang binigyan nyo.
Hindi po, may representative po
Tauhan.
siya.
Okay. So, nagbigay kayo ng isang bag, possibly 30 to 35 million. Tapos yung pangalawang bag, binigay nyo sa isang tauhan ni Attorney Munsayak. Tama po ba?
Hindi ko po alam kung tauhan niya yun, pero sa taas po namin nilagay nung kasama ko. Nandun din naman po ako.
Okay. Hindi nyo alam. Basta nandoon siya. Hindi ba tinuro kayo sa itaas?
Opo, sa taas
Sino ang
po.
nagturo sa itaas?
Si Attorney Reynald Bunsayak po.
O, si Attorney Munsayak, tinuro ka sa itaas, tapos dun sa itaas, inabot mo yung pera. Tama po ba?
Kami po, si Arman po mismo yung nag-abot yung kasama
Si
ko
Arma,
po.
hindi yung kasama mo.
Opo.
Kasama ka rin sa taas.
Siya po yung umabot sa second floor, ako po halfway doon sa may platform.
Halfway lang. Okay. Tapos sabi mo dito sa affidavit mo, paglabas nyo, I looked at him and he nodded.
Opo.
Tama po.
Your Honor.
Ibig sabihin,
Tama po.
nagtanguan kayo.
Opo.
Okay, so parang acknowledgement dun sa transaksyon.
Opo.
Okay. Tapos nung kasunod na araw, so in other words, nagbigay ka rin ng isang bag na posibleng may 30 to 35 million.
Opo.
Tama po.
Opo, Mr.
Tapos
Chair.
yung dalawang remaining bag, sabi nyo, sa sunod na araw na.
Opo, Madam
At
Chair.
iniwan nyo lang sa parking lot ng Office
Office
of the Ombudsman. Yan po ba yung sa may
Sa Agham po.
Agham Road. Okay. Iniwan nyo lang sa parking lot. Iniwan nyo yung red Mazda. Tama po.
Opo.
At nandun yung dalawang bag. So
Opo,
pwedeng,
Madam Chair.
dalawang bag pwedeng 60 to 65 million pesos.
Tama po.
Hindi nyo alam, wala kayong sinasabi rito kung sino ang tumanggap.
Nakita ko po pero hindi ko po kilala.
Merong tumanggap.
Opo.
Nandito ba yan sa statement mo?
Yung sa ombudsman po, nakita ko po yung kumuha ng susi.
When we arrived, the guard gave a signal directing us to park in a specific area in the OMB parking lot. We proceeded to the specific area and parked red Mazda sedan where 2 remaining bags of money were placed. We left the keys on top of the left front wheel, which is our usual practice when delivering large amounts of money. Wala po kayong binabanggit na ngayon may sinasabi kayo na may nakita kayong pwede po bang ituloy?
Yung umikot na po kami, kasi naglakad lang po kami palabas.
Okay.
Conscious din, curious lang po ako kung sino po yung pwedeng kumuha.
At
other than sa guard na nag-lead sa amin, may isa pong lumapit doon. So,
may isang lumapit doon sa red Mazda.
Opo, nandun po yung guard. So, I presume yun na yun po. Nahiya naman po kung tignan-tignan pa siya. Tumuloy na po ako.
So may nakita kayong lumapit doon sa red Mazda?
Opo, meron po.
Okay. Kilala nyo ba?
Namumukhaan ko po, pero by name hindi po.
Namumukhaan nyo po. Well, Mr. Chair.
Continue.
Okay.
Some members have been saying that your questions are now probing questions, so let's just stick it to the...
I was clarifying,
stick with
Mr.
the
Chair. It was a clarificatory question on the delivery, and it was the resource person who proffered the information that he saw an individual approach the red Mazda sedan, Mr. Chair.
Just the same, continue. I'm reminding you na we're bound by our own rules.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Chair. Okay. Okay. So, ayun. So, total na deliver nyo po yung mga bag. Tapos, yun nga, sa dulo, ang sabi nyo, yung 125 million na yon ay confidential funds. At any point, did anyone ever tell you na yun ay confidential funds?
Wala po.
Wala po. Okay. Thank you. Okay. Thank you.
Are you
Yun na
done,
po.
continue?
Okay.
Thank you. Congressman Ben Amante.
Maraming salamat, Mr. Chair. Mr. Chair, nais ko lang po maliwanagan kung tama ba yung pagkakaintindi ko na inutusan ni Vice President Sara Duterte si Mr. Ramil Madriaga na pumunta sa San Pablo, Laguna, Cabuyao, Laguna, at gayon din sa doon sa strip dito sa Quezon City. Tama po ba yun, Mr.
Tama
Madriaga?
po, Your Honor. Tama po.
Natuloy po ba kayo na pumunta ng San Pablo, Laguna?
Nakapunta na po ako.
Pero yung time na inutusan kayo ng ating pangalawang Pangulo, natuloy po ba yon?
Hindi po kasi along our way po somebody called us up then just to meet instead in somewhere in Cabuyao.
So yung imi-meet nyo sa San Pablo, imi-meet nyo na rin din sa Cabuyao?
Opo, sa loob po ng industrial park.
Curious lang ako, Mr. Chair, Mr. Madriaga. Ako taga San Pablo ako eh.
Opo.
Oho. Sino po ba yung minimit nyo sa San Pablo, supposedly?
During
Congressman Amante, let's limit it to what's stated in his affidavit na lang. Or can you ask if he remembers na lang siguro kung sino?
Okay, thank you. Again, next question. About naman po ito dun sa una yung sinumpaang salaysay. Paragraph 26, you referred to the magnetic lifters that allegedly contained methamphetamine hydrochloride. Ngunit nabanggit din ninyo na hindi natuloy ang pagkuha nito. Maaari po bang ma-confirm na totoo na hindi po talaga natuloy yung pagkuha ng magnetic lifter?
Hindi po. Kino-confirm ko po na hindi ko po nakuha yon. Hindi po natuloy.
Pero dito po sa salaysay na sinumpaan po ninyo, pinahayag po ninyo dito na ito pong magnetic lifter ay naglalaman ng methamphetamine hydrochloride. Ito po ay personal po niyong nakita doon sa magnetic lifter.
Later ko na po nalaman yon nung na meron siyang laman na methamphetamine hydrochloride. Later ko na po nalaman yon.
So hindi niyo po actual na nakita doon sa magnetic lifter?
Ay, hindi po. Sa news lang po.
Okay. Maraming salamat po, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Congressman Amante. Congressman Nasal?
I would just like to make a manifestation,
Go ahead,
Mr.
Congressman
Chair. But I believe si Congressman Marcoleta wants to go ahead of me.
I'm sorry, Congressman Nasal, but we have a long list of members who would like to
Sige po.
propound questions.
Just a moment.
Is the manifestation in relation to the testimony or the affidavit of Mr. Madriaga?
Yes.
Go ahead, sir.
Mr. Chair. Mr. Chair, honorable members of the Justice Committee, magandang hapon po. I make this manifestation not to delay these proceedings but to place on record matters that go directly to the credibility of the witness and the reliability of his affidavit in the interest of truth, fairness, and the integrity of this impeachment process.
Congressman Nasal, we are here as to determine probable cause lang, no? And the credibility of the witness should not be put in question because that should be in the Senate trial po, no? So if your manifestation is in line with that, I would suggest that we defer that manifestation and leave it to the Senate to determine the credibility or the testimony of Mr. Madriaga.
I defer to your wisdom, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Congressman Nasal. If you have questions, though, I would allow you to ask questions.
Pwede po ba ako magtanong? As a non-member?
You're on the list po. Yeah. For as long as it's not probing questions lang nila and in line with the affidavit of Mr. Madriaga.
Sa next na lang po na pila.
Okay.
Thank you.
DS Konghun.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Some clarificatory questions lang po. Mr. Madriaga, sinabi mo na yung kaso mo na isinampa laban sa iyo ni Attorney Roque bilang ganti sa paglantad sa kanyang activities sa Mariveles, Bataan, kasama ng kanyang mga partner sa Pogo. Tama ba sinabi mo yon?
Tama po, Your Honor.
Sino-sino yung kanyang mga partner?
I'm sorry, but that is not allowed, DSJ. Could you please rephrase your question? We have to limit our line of questioning dun lamang po sa nakasaad sa affidavit.
Tinitingnan ko lang, Mr. Chair, kung alert ka pa kasi para kanina inaantok ka eh. So, chinecheck ko lang kung alert ka. Tama ba na kaya mo ginawa yun ay dahil sinubukan mo lang na tulungan yung mga magsasaka na bibigyan sana ng Certificate of Land Ownership and Award ng Department of Agrarian Reform, Mr. Madriaga?
Tama po, Your Honor.
Tama rin ba na kaya mo ginawa yon ay tama rin ba na gusto nyong gawing Pogo Hub sana ni Attorney Roque kasama ng kanyang mga kasamahan yung lugar na yon ayon sa inyong affidavit?
Opo, Your Honor.
Para magawa niya yon, kailangan niyang ilipat yung titulo ng lupa sa pangalan ng First Bataan Mariveles Holdings Corporation. Tama ba?
Opo, Your Honor.
Nabanggit mo din na ang presidente at CEO nitong korporasyon na ito ay si Danny Coral, na siya rin ay isa sa mga incorporator ng Lucky South 99 Outsourcing Incorporated at Lucky South 99 Corporation. Tama
Opo, Your Honor.
At itong dalawang kumpanyang ito ay nag-ooperate din ng ayon sa iyong salaysay, ay nag-ooperate din ng Pogo Hub sa Pampanga. Tama ba?
Opo, Your Honor.
Nabanggit mo rin sa iyong supplemental affidavit na sinabi mo na sinabi sa iyo ni PPRD na tatakbo na lamang bilang VP ni VBM si VP Sara, tama ba?
Tama po, Your Honor.
So nililinaw ko lang yung affidavit mo, Mr. Madriaga.
Opo.
Sinabi mo din na nabanggit ni PRRD na nag-meeting sila ni BBM para pag-usapan ang posibleng alyansa sa 2022 national elections. At dito na pagdesisyonan ni VP Sara na tatakbo na laban siyang Vice President. Tama ba?
Tama po, Your Honor.
Okay. Nabanggit mo din sa iyong affidavit na sa 2025 ay voluntaryong bababa sa pwesto si PBBM para si VP Sara ang maging presidente at maaari pang tumakbo muli si VP Sara sa 2028. Tama ba? Sinabi mo ba ito?
Opo, yun po yung pagkakasabi sa akin ni former President Rodrigo Duterte.
Okay. Dinagdag mo na pagkatapos ng oath-taking ni VP Sara ay nagkaroon ng pagpupulong si PRRD at ang retired general sa AFP kung saan ay present ka din. Tama ba?
Tama po, Your Honor.
Dito pinag-usapan ang posibleng, ayon sa iyong salaysay, dito pinag-usapan ang mga posibleng paraan para mapatanggal si PBBM sakaling hindi siya voluntaryong bababa. Tama ba yung
Tama
testimony
po, Madam Chair.
Sa katunayan, sinabi mo din na kasama sa mga posibleng gawin ay ang assassination, mass resignation of government officials, civil disobedience, at even an armed assault sa Malacanang Palace. Tama ba ito, Mr. Madriaga?
Tama po, Madam Chair. Tama po, Your Honor.
I have no more questions, Madam Chair. Maraming salamat.
Next in line is the Honorable Elago.
Yes, Madam Chair. Dito sa page 22, paragraph 74 ng supplemental affidavit ni Resource Speaker Mr. Madriaga. Sinabi niya ho na mali ang naiulat ng paggamit sa loob ng 11 araw ng 125 million pesos na OVP confidential funds noong 2022. Tama ho ba ito?
Tama po, Madam Chair.
Ang ginamit ho na salita dito sa supplemental affidavit ay personally disposed.
Opo, Madam Chair.
I quote, personally disposed. Ano ho ang pagkakaiba nito doon sa reportedly utilized? Doon sa 11 days versus doon sa sinabi nyo dito na personally disposed the money in less than 24 hours?
Yung utilize po kasi sa pagkakaintindi ko, meron din akong kinalaman personal. Ang dispose po, hindi ko po yun utilize, I just delivered it. Somebody disposed it. Or somebody, other than me, I dispose it to them. Sila na po yung nag-utilize, sila na yung gumamit. Labas na po ako sa pag-utilize nun.
Pero ho, sa pagkakaintindi ninyo, naubos na yung 125 million na OVP confidential funds sa loob lamang ng 24 hours.
Opo, exactly po, 18 hours po siguro.
That's all, Madam Chair. Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Elago.
Mag-subscribe at i-click ang notification bell para sa mga susunod na video updates. Maraming salamat po.